Hello everybody, I'm Julo, and today we're in my Arcanum apartment, which is incredibly crowded with things like mounts, but mostly pets. Now, pets in this game matter a lot, obviously. I mean, you can just look in my backpack and you can see things like this pet, which is pretty good. You also see pets like this, which I have used in my videos, and you also see pets like this, which obviously this is an old meta pet, but I use the same method to get this pet that I've used to get all my pets since then. And today I will be showing you how I get these pets and how to make them yourself. It's simple, I guess, but it's still pretty luck-based, and like, I wouldn't expect you to get it in the first try, just making all your bases and then taking your last one to Mega, just in one try. But it's still really efficient, and I highly recommend that you use this. This is going to be similar to Ferric's third step that he posted in his video, which I will link in the description. But this just requires you to have at least one pet of your school that already has some talents on it. So I'm going to go ahead and head to the pet pavilion to show you more. Okay, so now we're in the pet pavilion, and there are a few things here that you should know about. So the first one is going to be the well-known hatchmaking kiosk. Now, if you go in here and you press X to hatch, you go to browse pets, you can search for pet talents up here. This got nerfed in the spring update this year because you can no longer search for 5 talents, but you can still search for 2, and it's advisable to search for the 2, I guess, least common talents that still make up your pet. So right now what I'm trying to get is basically this pet, but without Defy on it. So I can suck at Brace Defy once I actually get the jewel. So as you can see, Proof, Fire Ward, Giver, Ice Dealer, and Ice Ward are the talents that I want on the main pet, so that way I can sock it, obviously, Brace Defy. Now, if you go in here and you do browse pets and obviously search for pet talents, what I've been doing is I type in Ice, and then I go to the second page and I type in Ice Dealer and Ice Ward. So that way I get pets with Ice Dealer and Ice Ward. Now, obviously hatching costs are egregiously high, but you won't have to spend as much on just pure hatches with this method, because you won't have as many fails like at Mega and stuff. You won't waste as many Mega snacks. So what you want to do is you want to find a pet that has all the talents you want, and then also with good numbers. Like I would not want to hatch with a pet like this that has 234 will and 249 strength, because you see Pain Giver is all fine and dandy, but then Ice Dealer is +9, and then the wards, I guess, are +15, but I mean, they're not going to be as strong, like just miniature percentages, but still, a 9 dealer, you don't like to see that. So once you find a pet that has the talents that you want, you'll obviously start hatching. Now, I've been hatching with this pet a bunch, and on my next hatch, once I manage to scrounge together the 90k gold that I need, thank you Ratbeard, I will hatch with this pet one more time and create my, hopefully, non-failed Mega Pet. Now, as you can see, the talents are lining up pretty well right now. I already have Pain Giver, Ice Stealer, and Spell Proof in the same place that this pet has it. And then Ice Ward is probably this, and then Fire Ward is probably this. This epic talent, don't know what it is, or do I know what any of the rest of these are, except for Fire and Ice Ward. But it's all RNG, and I'm going to show you how to make the bases efficiently. So you go in here and you see I have Abby, Bailey, Cassie, and Diesel. These are the names of the 4 pets, or the 4 base pets that I have. So Abby was the first one that I hatched. It's just an armament, and it got Pain Giver and Ice Giver, and I don't want both, but it still technically wasn't a fail, so I kept hatching and I got to Bailey, and Bailey got, I think, Spell Proof and Ice Dealer, so that was already good. Cassie got Spell Proof, Ice Dealer, and Ice Ward, so you can see A, B, C, D. So now we're on Diesel, and Diesel is 1 train away from becoming epic. So obviously I can skip the game. You can do any game that you want. I've just played a bunch of Grumpy Gobblers before. So now, I'm low-key running low on snacks, but now, once I feed it this green tomato, we'll see if it either gets Ice Ward, Fire Ward, or something different. And if it gets something different, then we will go back to the drawing board and hatch Cassie with the pet that I showed you earlier. Now, I'm hoping it doesn't fail, obviously, but let's see what it gets. And it did get Ice Ward, so that means that this pet, Diesel, is now going to be my epic base. And if things go to plan, I will hatch Diesel with the pet that I showed you earlier. And if I can find it real quick. There it is, Donia Precious. Now, everything is lining up, and all it needs to get now is Fire Ward. And if it gets Fire Ward at Mega, or somewhere along the line in the next hatch, then I have my pet, and I can just socket Brace Defy. And now I have double damage, double resist with Brace Defy, and Ice Ward and Fire Ward. These are going to be good in the PvP meta, because even with the nerfs, Ice is still going to be up there, and so is Fire. Now, let's say that Diesel got, like, let's just say this is like Astute or something, and it got Astute, which I think is like a plus 25 will buff or something. So let's say it got Astute. Now, if it failed at Epic, what I would do is I would hatch Cassie here with Donia Precious and make a second epic base, just like take 2. And obviously these don't really line up as well as Diesel did, so I'm glad Diesel got Ice Ward, because I'd be really playing with fire if it didn't line up like that. But right now, if Diesel had failed, I would have hatched this pet with this pet, and then trained the results up to epic. So then I would hatch the epic pet with Donia Precious. Charles Darwin would be frowning upon this practice, but it is what it is. And yeah, so Diesel, obviously at epic. If I had the gold, I would show you what I would do. I can still technically show you anyway. So what happens is you can just go to the commons and then go into the shopping district. Fortunately, renaming a pet does not cost very much at all. So let's say I go in here and you go to the dye shop and you have your pet that you want to take to Mega. So what you do is you go here to rename pet, and let's say, like, I don't know, Optiohanna, even though it's nowhere near what it needs to be. So This would be an E name, so let's go with Elvis. So this would be the pet that I would take to Mega. I name him like A, B, C, D, so that way I know which pet is which and which to train. Because I won't lie, I have gotten confused before. So if Elvis was the hatched pet from Diesel and Donia Precious in the kiosk, then I would train Elvis, meaning the 5th and hopefully final pet, all the way up to Mega. And if it doesn't fail, well, there you go. There's your Mega pet. So now that you've used the method and you've hatched a successful pet for either PvE or PvP, in my case here, Sergeant Trixie is for PvP with a triple double reliquary pet. You can, there you go. It's just a good strong pet. So once you have a pet like this, obviously you'll feel, pretty accomplished. You'll think, okay, well, that's cool and all, but I want to make another pet with similar talents. So now let's say I wanted to make a ward pet on my myth. What I would do is I would obviously go back to the pet pavilion, and then when I'm there, I'd obviously go back into the kiosk, click on browse pets, and then I can leave the ice ward, but then I can put in myth dealer. And there you go. You now have access to myth ward pets. So myth giver, spell proof, ice ward, fire ward, myth dealer. Obviously 9 dealer, so I wouldn't hatch with it, but this is just the type of pet that I would want to have. So obviously you would just go through the same process again. You would hatch your pet with some of the talents that you want, that you already have, with the pet that you want to put new talents on, like the wards, and then you just rinse and repeat. You'd take it to the first one to adult, and then hatch again and take the second one to adult, and if it doesn't fail by that point, you can take your 3rd hatch up to Ancient, 4th to Epic, and then 5th to Mega. And obviously you can name them, like, I don't know, Abby, like Bo, like Callie, Diesel, Elvis, that kind of thing. And then once your pet gets to Mega, there you go, you have your pet. And of course, like I said earlier, pets matter a lot in this game. So if you wanted something like a quint damage assailant pet, like I have on my Storm right now, you can make that. And I used the 5 hatch method for it, and eventually got it. And now I will say that, sometimes RNG just doesn't go your way, and you might get a pet like this, where you wanted something like spell proof at Mega, which is obviously not advisable, but you end up getting a talent you don't want. Some of the time it'll still be usable, other times it might get astute, like I had said before, but while this is not 100% foolproof, nothing in this game is 100% foolproof. Just gotta RNG it out, hope you get what you want. Although this method that I've just shown you it helps your RNG, if that makes any sense. It can give you better odds of getting a pet that you want. Like, I already have another one in the works. I have an epic base going that can have proof instead of this boon. And once I train it to Mega, once I get my Mega Snacks, it will hopefully have proof, and then my stats on the Legendary Death Wizard can go way up. But anyways, yes, thank you all for watching this pet training video, and hopefully this has helped you understand the importance of base pets a lot more, because I see a lot of people just blind training their pets from baby to Mega without really having a care in the world, and then just like getting mad when it gets, like, I don't know, sprightly at Epic. So yeah, this guide hopefully Helps you not waste as many Mega Snacks and gold. But yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next video, and goodbye.